Hi, I'm Fraser. I've been the VT at Whitemoss this year. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the practice, about my year, about David, about the nurses, and I've asked a few of my friends in the year below me at dental school as well for what kind of questions they've got for the year ahead and for VT, so I'll try and cover some of them as well. So I've had an absolutely brilliant year at Whitemoss. I know that I couldn't have gone to a better VT practice, especially not for me. It's just such a great environment. It's such a great family feel. It is quite a big practice, which can maybe be quite intimidating for some people. But everyone, it made me feel so welcome straight from the start, which was great. I got to know everyone quite well. We had within the first week, we all went out for a night out and we got to know each other. And it kind of broke the ice a wee bit and made it a lot less intimidating in a lot of ways. As I say, there's loads of dentists in here, loads of nurses, loads of staff, and loads of other people involved that you don't see necessarily every day. But everyone's so supportive. I think that's what's so great about it. As you'll hear and you'll find out, David's a really busy guy. He's got loads of stuff on, but the fact that there is always 2-3 other dentists in here every single day that you can go and ask, and they've all been VTs here themselves, so they're willing to take your questions and help you out the best they can. And the nurses, this has been a long-standing VT practice. The nurses have got loads of experience. They all know loads more than me, still do. They're great. They're so supportive, and you can ask them any questions as well. The surgery that we've got, you'll see in the tour, it's a lovely spacious surgery. There's lots of natural light, which is good. We've got a TV in the wall, and what I really enjoyed about it is that you can make it your own. I brought in one speaker, I put some posters and stuff up, and David encourages that. We tried at Whitemoss to make it not so clinical and a lot more comfortable for the patients, and improve that journey for them. And we get a lot of nervous patients, and you want to make them feel as comfortable and as at home as possible, and you get the total autonomy to do that and make it your own surgery. So that was really good this year. David's a great trainer, he knows so much and he's so supportive, but he's also just really easy to get on with, which I think is really important. I'm pretty sure in the first week he gave me into trouble for knocking, so you literally just go in and he wants you to bother him, he wants you to ask questions. There's no silly questions. You got to make mistakes to get better, and you got to ask these questions. Rather ask them and find out the answer than not to ask them and not know. But your relationship with David quickly evolves from being trainer to just being like a friend. He's really easy to get on with. David and I, Jacob, one of the other associates, had actually went away for a weekend to Dublin this year. It's that kind of practice. It's like a big family, and everyone gets on really well. David's really passionate about teaching and about looking after his patients. He works really hard, and he puts in loads of graft, loads of hours to make sure that his patients get the best care, and that's something that he passes on to you. If you're going to do something, do it right, and I think that's a really good trait, because you don't want to start off with bad habits, and it's if things take a wee bit longer, it's worth it to get the best result for your patients, because at the end of the day, that's why we're all here. I've really liked my hours this year. Obviously, with the way things are, I don't know exactly how it's going to be for the next VT, but for a wee taste, my hours this year have been 8:30 start every day, apart from Tuesday was at 9. I finished 5:30 Monday, Wednesday, late night 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday were kind of half days. As I said before, I'm David's 18th VT, so he makes sure you get the enough support, and he's always there to answer any questions. And even if he's not in practice, you can phone him or text him anytime. He'll get back to you, and he'll help you out. My study day this year was a Friday, which is great. It breaks up your week. Friday's a good day because you've not got work the next day, so you find quite often we would go out socialising with our study group on the Friday afternoon in town, which is always a good way to finish a busy week. The nurses are all fantastic. There's 7 nurses in the practice, and they're just all so friendly and helpful, and they all are a lot more knowledgeable than me. I've had a few nurses as my kind of VT nurse this year for various reasons. The last one hated me so much that she got pregnant to get away from me. So, but obviously with the way things are, don't know exactly how things are going to pan out when we go back to normality. But yeah, honestly, the nurses are just fantastic. I couldn't say anything better about them. So at the start of VT, you get complete control of your book. There's absolutely no pressure from David or anyone to push yourself. As I've touched before, you know, it's about getting the right care and the right quality of care for your patients more than how many patients you're seeing. And naturally, you will just build up speed and you'll get better at things and faster at things. And David wants to make sure you're getting it right from the start. So take as much time as you need, and there's absolutely no pressure there. East Kilbride's quite an affluent area, so treatment-wise, you know, you'll find yourself doing probably more endo than other people. Folk are willing to save their teeth, which was good for me because I hated endo at uni, and now it's something that I'm quite confident with. You'll see treatments in the practice which are, you know, really great that you can go and observe. There's loads of things to get, whether orthodontics, cosmetic treatments, facial aesthetics. There's loads happening at this practice. There's so many people with so many different interests that there's loads to pick up experience on and to go and just dabble in and even just try and get an interest, see what you fancy. No one will stop you from sitting in with them, and you can block that time off in your book. I had a chance this year to one of my patients wanted an implant, and David was happy for me to block time off my book to go and follow that journey with one of our referral practices in East Kilbride. So, you know, there's so many opportunities, and you're completely supported to do that if it's going to help your training and your development. There's loads of patients in the book. Don't worry about that. I think there's over 18,000 patients registered at the practice. So if you're not seeing your own patients, there's plenty of emergencies and loads to keep you busy. So there's nothing to worry about. As I said, you can make yourself as busy as you want and take as much time as you have to. I've had a few questions about equipment in the practice. There's loads of stuff. We've got a brand new endo rotary with an inbuilt apex locator. We've got fully digital x-rays with both large sensors and child sensors as well, which are perfect for anterior teeth. There's DAM, there's loads of different matrix kits, there's pretty much every restorative material you could think of. There's loads of stuff. I just want to re-emphasise that I've had the best year. Everyone's been so nice, the patients are great, the staff are great, location's perfect. You know, I would come from city centre, it takes me half an hour to get here. It's just, I've had such a good year. I would recommend that you really consider White Moss for your VT year. I know that David still keeps in touch with his VTs from 18 years ago, so he's not just there for now. He's going to be there forever, and he's always there to help you, and he's always going to be the other side of the phone. The friendships that I've made this year in practice have been just brilliant. Speak to someone from the practice pretty much every day. It's more than just being a job. It's just been a great time, and just feel like one big White Moss family. I got to meet the VT from last year, got to know him pretty well as well, and you know, there's just so many connections, so many opportunities that's presented itself this year. I'd really recommend that you consider White Moss. It's just, couldn't say any more great things about it.